everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today I am going to attempt to do a Galaxy melt and pour soap. So I've got some really fun Galaxy themed colors over here. In this container here I have about 10 ounces or roughly 10 ounces of melt and pour clear low sweat soap base, and I'm going to heat this up in the microwave for about 30 seconds until it's all completely melted down. The fragrance oil has finished heating up, so I'm going to take some of this silver white mica from TKB Trading. This stuff goes airborne pretty quickly, so if you use it, be careful because it's going to go everywhere. And I'm just going to put some down here on the very bottom of the container. I also have my melt and pour soap base here, so I'm going to add a little bit to that just to make it kind of sparkly like the stars. I have a really nice fragrance. I'm going to use Energy by Brambleberry. It's a really fruity fragrance, super good. I'm going to add about 2 milliliters of that to my clear melt and pour soap base here. I'm going to mix it all up, and then I'm going to add a little bit of something fun. This is one of my favorite colorants. Sorry, it's all like nasty looking, but it's the Ye Old Neon Purple. It's from TKB Trading. It's one of the best colorants ever. And I want this soap to be pigmented, but I don't want it to be totally opaque. So I think I'm gonna add like 1 drop. We'll see how that colors this. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's pour this into the mold. Really sparkly stuff. Totally like Galaxy themed. Just gonna mix it around. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit for about, I'm gonna say like maybe 5 to 8 minutes-ish, just until that bottom soap starts to thicken up, but it isn't completely hard, because the next layer we pour in, we want to have like sort of this rippledy, kind of a drop swirl effect in there. Okay, so it's been about 8 minutes, and this bottom part is ready to go. It's whenever it starts to look kind of jelly-like in the middle. That's when it's time to put the next layer in. So I've melted down another 10 ounces of my melt and pour low sweat soap base. I've added a few little sparkles. I'm gonna add the fragrance oil in, another 2 milliliters there. And then I'm also going to add some of this turquoise color. This is from Nurture Soap, but they have one very similar from TKB. I'll leave both down below. Then I'm gonna mix this up really well, because mica does not incorporate into melt and pour nearly as good as that liquid soap colorant does. So you really have to sit there and stir to make sure it's all good and incorporated. That looks good. So before I pour it in, I'm gonna take a little bit of this Snowflake Sparkle from Brambleberry. You can use the same one again from TKB. I'm just kind of running low on it. I'm gonna put it in between this layer. Hopefully this mica doesn't get too incorporated into the soap. I would like to leave it sort of separate so that there's little streaks of silver in it. For the same reason, I'm taking a little bit of Velvet Pearl mica and putting it on here. It looks much duller compared to the other two. And then I'm just gonna test it real quick to see how this does. Okay. So I poured it in from pretty high. I'm gonna scrape the rest of that in there. I'm gonna spritz with rubbing alcohol. Then I'm gonna take this and I'm going to give it a gentle little stir just to kind of mess up that bottom bit and get the two mixed up together. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit about 5 to 8 minutes, same as before, and this time I'm gonna melt some white soap base. I've melted down the next batch here, the next 10 ounces. I've added my fragrance oil, so now I'm gonna add in some sapphire colorant. That's also from TKB. I'm gonna mix that in really well until we get sort of a royal blue, really dark blue color. Great, so just gonna mix this up completely here. Put a little more glitter in here. Let me test it and see if it'll break through on its own. Yes, I do believe it has. I'm gonna pour about that much. Then I'm gonna kind of pop it, just like this. Let some of that blue down there. Then I'm going to put in some more of the sapphire blue in a circle like that. And I'm just gonna pour it into here without mixing it completely. You can see some of the color dripping in there. It's not gonna be enough to like leave a residue on anything. It's just gonna be enough to kind of color everything a little bit different. I'm also gonna wait until this skin right here kind of hardens up a little bit. Then I'm gonna peel it off and kind of shove it in there. Oh yes, peel it off. Yes, oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take this bit here. I'm just gonna put it right here on top. I'm not gonna push it in or anything. That's just gonna make a really cool swirl design. You'll see. Okay, so time to mix up 10 more ounces of the clear melt and pour. Okay, so I have now mixed up the next portion, which is some more purple. And I'm just gonna pour this in right over the top, just like so. Mixy, mixy. Perfect. Okay, next thing that I'm gonna mix up is only 5 ounces. It's gonna be 5 ounces of clear again, and we're gonna color this one pink. All right, so that sat a while, so I'm gonna break the surface just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to spritz with rubbing alcohol. And then I'm going to put some white powder stuff on top. The velvet pearl mica to be exact. And then I'm gonna put in this pink. And this pink is colored with Cosmic Carolyn. It's a beautiful color. All right, so I'm just gonna pour that much in because I broke it up a little bit and I kind of want like it to fill up the holes, but I don't want all of the pink to go completely through. So it's just gonna sit there like that for a while, and then once it forms a crust on top, I'll pour the rest of it on. Okay, and time for the final layer. This is 12 ounces of clear melt and pour that I colored with sapphire liquid colorant from TKB. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I've put a little bit more of the fun glittery stuff on top. I'm gonna spritz it with rubbing alcohol. And then on top of this, I'm going to put a little bit more mica like this, and I'm not going to mix it. I'm just going to pour it straight over this pink so that it breaks up like that. And then in one spot, I'm gonna stick that down so that I pop it a little bit. Never mind, we're doing it in 3 spots. I have no idea if that's actually gonna do anything. We'll see. I'm gonna put a little bit more of this on top. Gonna pour some more of this. It's totally going to leak down the side. Yes, okay, I'm happy with it. I'm gonna spritz it with rubbing alcohol, and then we're gonna let this sit for about 2 hours or so until it's completely hard all the way through. Okay, so the soap has been unmolded now, and I'm going to attempt to cut a bar off of here. It's still a little warm, but I think we'll at least get 1 bar off so that you guys can see on the inside. I really, really, really am so excited about this. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, ah. So the layers set up on me a little more than I might would have wanted them to, but even so, it still totally reminds me of like the galaxy and the night sky. Let's cut another one and see if it changes as we go on here. Could be that it gets a little more swirly towards the middle of the soap. Yeah, there's it a little bit more swirly here. Let's try one from this side, see what we think about it. Oh wow, so it is a little more swirly on this side, and you can see up here where I put that white in, how well it showed up kind of around that blue. If I had done that throughout the whole soap, it would have looked really cool. Wow, it's even crazier on this one. So this is a little more what I had imagined for this soap. And you can see the little white speckles coming through from that really pretty mica. Ooh, look at this. Oh, I love it. That is so awesome looking. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, maybe even leave me a comment down below. And hey, feel free to attempt to do this yourself. I would love to see your results. And until tomorrow, you guys have an absolutely royal day, and we will see you back again for another installment of the 12 Days of Soapmas.